We are each different from one another. The world is made up of billions of people, and not two people are alike. And yet, there are out there people who are prejudiced. They are, for whatever reason, against others. They think that they are better. They think that only their country, their nation, their ways, their cultures, their language, their habits, their food, what they do is good. The rest is not. Know, however, that it's our differences that enrich our relationship rather than weaken them. Our differences is what makes us the world that we are today. And that's what enriches the traveling concept. When you travel from one country to another, what you discover is three things. Number one, how wonderful other people live in other parts of the world. And it doesn't have to be very far. You don't have to cross the ocean or go on the other side of the world. It could just be in a different neighborhood, or it could be across the state line, or it could be perhaps across the country, or maybe to another country, wherever you go. But a place where you don't live. And then you see how others live there, what they do, how they appreciate what they have. And to them, they call that place home. Now, those differences is what makes us envy them to some parts. So the first thing is when you go and travel to another place, you discover how wonderful that place is. The second is you discover how great your place is, because now you compare. You compare what you've seen from their place to where you came from. And you can appreciate more what you have versus what you don't find in the new place that you're in. And then there's a third thing that happens. You appreciate the fact that we are different. And our differences throughout the world make us this beautiful universe that we live in. So next time you travel, next time you go somewhere else, next time you're in a different state, in a different neighborhood, in a different country, look around and appreciate what they have. This will make you realize that what you've got is so good. We often don't realize that. You see, for instance, right now, as I'm speaking with you, you probably do not, at this point, feel anything that is not hurtful to you or painful. For instance, let's say as you're listening to this podcast right now, as we speak right now, are you in pain in any parts of your body? So let's say right now you're listening to this podcast and your hands are not in pain. Therefore, because of this, at this point, you're not feeling your fingers. And the reason you're not feeling your fingers is because you're not in pain. We only feel pain in a part of our body when indeed something is wrong with them. Otherwise, we don't feel it. And that's why, as you are listening to this podcast right now, your feet or your hands or your back or your head or your knees may not be in pain because they're healthy. Once they are not healthy, that's when we feel them. And it's the same thing here. Unless we know that something, sometime, is taken away from us, at that moment we realize how good it was or how good it is. And as it says, the best part of going on a vacation or on a trip is coming home, knowing that you can come back to home. It may not be as luxurious as to where you were, may not be as fancy or as big or as exotic, but it's home. It's what life is all about. Realizing what you've got and appreciating everything. There are many people in this world, unfortunately, who are in hospital and are in pain and are suffering. There are people also who live in countries that are so difficult and create for them tremendous pain. Be happy where you are. Be pleased for what you've got, and be thankful that what you've got is beneficial to you, and be the person that you can be. Be remarkable, because this is a remarkable world, and you can make that change. And our differences, let them be the strength that we use.
If you like what you've heard, please let us know by leaving a comment below. We would really appreciate if you would be kind enough to like, share, and even subscribe. Feel free to follow us on Facebook.